Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve the bartender, and today we're making 3 easy gin cocktails using only 5 ingredients. So I'm using a dry style gin, fresh lime juice, and then the third ingredient gets subbed between each drink. You actually produce vastly different results just by changing the syrup in this drink. So first up, we've got a Blackberry Gimlet, we've got a ginger cocktail, and we have a business. We have tart, limey, spicy, and then sweet and floral. Good variation of cocktails, and all we're doing is changing over one ingredient. This particular lime juice is actually pseudo lime juice, so fake lime juice where I've used the lime peels and then I've added acid, sugar and salt. Incredibly easy to make, and it increases your yields and increases the shelf life of your citrus juice. So I've created a calculator for those people that like making pseudo juice at home. You can follow that in the link in the description below. And this is like 200 mils of lime juice from a single lime. Incredibly easy, as I said. I often use it here in the studio because of the shelf life. I'm not making cocktails every day. Fresh lime juice is ideal to use within like a 2 to 6 hour period. The next day, you could probably still use it. 2, 3, 4 days down the track, it's not really ideal to use that because it oxidizes. Whereas a pseudo juice, you can keep it in the fridge for a couple of weeks. But let's get onto the drink itself. So we're starting off with the dry gin. I'm not going to pour gin straight into that glass. I'm going to use a shaker. So 2 ounces, 60 ml of dry gin. You could use fresh blackberries and muddle them into the drink and use simple syrup. That's completely up to you. 1 ounce, 30 ml of fresh lime juice, or in this case, pseudo juice. The hard thing with blackberries is the fact that, I'm not sure about elsewhere, but here in Australia, it's only available, they're only in season for 2 months, February and March, right now. Whereas if you grab a bottle of Marionberry or Marion Blackberry syrup by Blackberry & Co, or another commercial syrup, another commercial blackberry syrup, is the fact that you can have blackberries year round. Blackberry & Co, they use Marion berries, and they are incredibly juicy and incredibly tart and nice and sweet. If you're using a 1-to-1 syrup, you can do 22.5 ml or 3/4 ounce. Because I'm using this syrup by Blackberry & Co, I only need to use half an ounce, 15 ml. Reason being is this is closer to a rich syrup, so a 2-to-1 ratio syrup. Wait till you see the color of this drink. It's looking good. Look at that. So good. The Blackberry Gimlet. Cheers. Great rendition on a gimlet, nice and juicy, tart, and loads of blackberry flavor. Now the thing that is great about these drinks is that we're only using 5 ingredients, and then we're making 3 completely different cocktails. Not completely different, quite different. Now this one here is the business. It's created by Sasha Petrosky, or it was created by Sasha Petrosky, and it's essentially a bee's knees with lime juice. So it's a little bit more sharper, like just the acid profile is a little bit different. So I'm going to do 2 ounces, 60 ml of dry gin, 1 ounce, 30 ml of fresh lime juice, or pseudo, and then we have a honey syrup. So this is a 3-to-1 honey syrup. Another thing with this is you can play around with different styles of honey and they'll produce vastly different results in your finished drink. 3/4 of an ounce, 22.5 ml. That is a fair bit of honey. Some people don't like that really intense, strong honey flavor, but I do. Keeping the garnish simple today. Lime wedge, the business. Really intense honey flavor, nice and zippy due to the lime juice instead of the lemon juice compared to a bee's knees. Sub this out. Easy. All right, next up we have the ginger cocktail, which is also a creation of Sasha Petrosky. It's pretty much identical to the drink before. Well, the recipe, the ratios. And The reason being is because that creates balance. Why am I'm about to pour it into I'm a bit rusty. We welcomed our third apprentice, for those who've been watching the channel for a while will know what that means, into the team, so therefore I haven't filmed for a little bit and I'm a little bit short and sleep. 2 ounces, 60 ml of dry gin, 1 ounce 30 ml of fresh lime juice. Someone's going to call me out. That's not fresh lime juice, it's pseudo juice. Yeah, I know, okay. Fresh lime, pseudo, you know what I mean. 1 ounce 30 ml of fresh lime juice. Now the original recipe was made with a 1-to-1 syrup, so equal parts of ginger juice and sugar. This one here, Blackberry Co syrups, is a rich, spicy syrup, so it's more like a 2-to-1 ratio, so therefore we don't need to use 3/4 ounce 22.5 ml. We're lowering it to half an ounce 15 ml. So you just keep that in mind with your syrups. Based on what syrup you're using, you may need to adjust your recipe. If you're keen to grab a bottle of Marion blackberry syrup or ginger syrup, you can find a link in the description below. So this one is for those that like their drinks spicy. Maybe another cube. Why do you smile like that? There you have the ginger cocktail, super easy to make, only 3 ingredients, dry gin, lime juice, and ginger syrup. Nice spicy kick to it, cheers. That ginger flavor gives it almost like a, not medicinal, but you know, like a health juice kind of note to it. In a good way, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Good cocktail, and that packs a fair bit of heat actually with that ginger syrup.